Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
Welcome, everyone. This is Steve Meisinger, your host of the ISE webinar series. Today we have Jason Ayres with us, and Jason is the founder and president of OptionSource.net, and of course he does the weekly outlook where he looks at the ISE pairs, the currency pairs, and gives his technical views on what's going on in the market. And I'm really pleased to have Jason with us. Jason really brings with him a wealth of information. And so I, again, thank Jason for coming today as the markets are really volatile. We see whether you're trading commodity stocks, bond options, ETFs, it really doesn't matter. You could be trading just about anything, and it's volatile these days. So just want to say, Jason, thanks for joining us today. This is Steve Meisinger with the ISE. Thanks again.
Yeah, fantastic. Always a pleasure to be here, and as always, looks like we have a pretty decent turnout this evening as well. So looking forward to moving into the presentation.
Well, Jason, I'm looking forward to it, as you always do a great job. So, you know, the ball is yours, and why don't you begin?
All right. Okay, folks. Well, thanks very much for joining us this evening. As Steve mentioned, my name is Jason Ayres. We're going to be looking at how to select the appropriate strategies for trading these ISE FX options. And really what I want to do is, first of all, just make sure that I do have indeed control of this. And, Steve, I think we had a little bit of an issue last time in terms of just driving these slides. So I want to make sure that I can move to the next slide. So, folks, hopefully, Steve, you can let me know what you're seeing on the slide there. But ideally, you're able to see what I'm seeing here, which is essentially the main slide. Is that?
Yes.
Okay. Right. How's the resolution?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is it okay?
Yep.
All right, so let's move forward. Sorry here. Let's just move forward with this, folks. All right, so we're going to talk about how to select the appropriate options strategy to apply in the FX options market using the ISE FX options market. As Steve mentioned several times, my name's Jason Ayres, founder and president of OptionSource.net. Good with the options and stocks, and sometimes not so good with the technical aspect of some of these computer programs here. But nonetheless, we provide market analysis, education, and support throughout Canada, the U.S., and in fact, we have a few people in Europe that are part of our network as well. And as always, we need to start out with our little risk disclosure, which essentially suggests that options involve risk and are not suitable for everyone. And ultimately, you want to make sure that you educate yourself thoroughly before actually ever trading options in a live environment. Anything that we discussed this evening, including the examples, are meant for illustrative and educational purposes only, and by no means are we endorsing or recommending these securities. So with that, let's just first touch base on the ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook that Steve mentioned. For those of you that haven't had an opportunity to take in one of these recorded podcasts or downloads on a weekly basis, what we basically do is we look at taking a technical overview of each of the major FX options pair values. And the idea is that we're just applying simple techniques to determine the probability of direction. So although we've got a lot of turmoil going on in the markets all over the place, be it equities, be it currencies, although U.S. dollar extremely strong as of late, what we want to do is just always keep an open mind and look at things from a technical perspective to determine the directional bias. And what I always suggest when we're teaching the approach, this approach to any market, is really what you're looking for are clues to help you identify specific trade entry points So think of yourself almost as if you're a crime scene investigator, and rather than just going on one little piece of information, you want to build a case against, that's supporting a particular bias. And then when that case looks strong, that's when you can go in and obviously make sure that you're managing the risk aspect of it. But that's when you can go in and be more confident in your trade entry. And again, we always want to make sure that we keep an open mind. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, so we can't really necessarily subscribe to one specific train of thought. We have to just step back and view things and digest the information for what it is, and not be afraid to change our minds when the market is suggesting that we're wrong. That's truly the key in being successful in trading any market. Is don't be afraid to admit you're wrong if you are on the wrong side of it. And again, recognize that we are dealing with probabilities, and we're trying to put the laws of probabilities in our favor anytime we are taking any sort of an opportunity, regardless of whether it's an ISE FX option or whether it's a stock or whether it's an equity option. So what I want to do first off is just review what exactly is an FX option. They trade similar to an equity option, and we'll talk a little bit about a standard option here in a minute, but recognize that if you're somebody that already understands the basics of the equity options market, apart from a few small differences, the FX option, the ICFX options trade very, very similar to an equity option. These options, instead of being their values being based on a share value or a stock value, are based on the pair value of a specific currency. And they're cash settled in U.S. dollars. So what this means is that when we're looking at the pair value of a particular ISE-FX option, we're actually, again, looking at something that is giving us a notional value, and we're then trading the options based on that, and any profits that we generate from that, or any losses that we incur based on a bad trade, for example, are all settled in U.S. dollars. They're European exercise, and what that means is that these options are not exercisable until the actual Friday of the expiration month, meaning that in the equities world, they're what's referred to as American-style exercise. American-style means that at any time, somebody can go in and exercise their right to own the specific underlying security or to sell the specific underlying security. With European exercise, that cannot take place until the third Friday of the expiration month. And sometimes I like to throw this over to Steve to see if he maybe has something that he can add to this that might clarify it a little bit more.
Sure, Jace. I mean, I think everything that Jason said is perfectly accurate. As everything that Jason said, he's completely right on target. The only thing I would like to just add to that is that don't get caught up in the European exercise. That does not mean you have to hold them all the way to expiration. I've just been out in California, and I get the same question over and over and over again. And Steve, does that mean I have to hold them till expiration because I can't exercise them early? No, just like any old option, they trade each and every day, and you can always close them out anytime you like. In fact, Jason's going to talk about how you might change your mind. And change your mind, you could either just sell it or buy it back. But you're right on target, Jace. Thanks.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so let's move forward here. Now, I use the word index, and that's actually not an appropriate term. It's that the pair value is essentially based on spot market prices, and that's what all of.
It looks like an index, Chase. That's exactly why you use it. So
yeah,
it's not completely wrong. I mean, it does look like an index. So yes.
Yeah, but what I really wanted to drive home, particularly for the folks out there that are traditional FX markets or spot market traders, is that these pair values are based on the true spot market values.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.